What if you could fly from New York to London for just $50? Sounds incredible, right? Yet nearly every airline that has tried to make this dream a reality has crashed and burned, not in the skies, but in bankruptcy courts. From Norwegian Air abandoning its transatlantic operations in 2021 to, wow, Air's sudden 2019 shutdown that left thousands stranded across continents. The graveyard of long-haul budget carriers tells a consistent story of ambition meeting harsh economic reality. Welcome to the World Documentaries, where we explore the fascinating forces shaping our world. Today we're diving into one of aviation's greatest paradoxes. Why do budget airlines thrive on short routes but fail spectacularly when they attempt to cross oceans? The answer reveals fundamental truths about economics, human behavior, and the razor-thin margins that keep modern aviation aloft. The seductive business model, the low-cost airline revolution, transformed short-haul travel in the 1970s, when Southwest Airlines proved that no-frills flying could be profitable. By eliminating expensive extras like free meals, assigned seating, and connecting baggage services, these carriers slashed ticket prices by up to 70%. Passengers accepted cramped seats in airport locations farther from city centers in exchange for unprecedented affordability. Within decades, budget carriers captured over 30% of the global aviation market. The model seemed simple enough to replicate on longer routes. Airlines like AirAsia X, Norwegian Air Shuttle, and WOW Air emerged with bold promises of transatlantic flights for less than the cost of a hotel room. Investment poured in as entrepreneurs imagined millions of budget-conscious travelers finally affording trips to distant continents. The dream was intoxicating, but the mathematics of long-haul aviation told a very different story that would take years to fully reveal. The hidden costs of distance long-haul flights face fundamental economic challenges that short routes simply don't encounter. A Boeing 737 Dreamliner costs approximately $248 to $338 million at list price, compared to roughly $90 million for a narrow-body aircraft used on budget domestic routes. These wide-body planes require specialized maintenance, larger crews, and burn through thousands of dollars worth of fuel per hour during a transatlantic crossing. Even before passengers board, the break-even point sits dangerously high. Distance amplifies every cost advantage that makes short-haul budget airlines successful. On a 2-hour flight, saving $10 per passenger on meals and entertainment adds up quickly across multiple daily flights using the same aircraft. But on a 2-hour journey, passengers demand basic comforts. Competition offers premium services, and that same aircraft can only complete 1 round trip daily instead of 6. The brutal mathematics reveal that long-haul operations require fundamentally different economics that resist the budget airline playbook. The competition nightmare. Legacy airlines possess enormous structural advantages in long-haul markets that budget carriers cannot easily overcome. Established carriers like British Airways, Lufthansa, and United have already depreciated their aircraft over decades, operate hub systems that fill planes through connecting passengers, and maintain lucrative business-class cabins that generate 50% of revenue from just 15% of seats. When budget carriers enter these routes, legacy airlines can temporarily slash economy prices below cost, subsidizing losses with premium cabin profits. Norwegian Air discovered this harsh reality when it launched cheap transatlantic routes from small European cities to the United States. Major airlines responded by flooding the same routes with additional capacity and aggressive pricing. Norwegian filled its economy cabins but couldn't compete with the revenue legacy carriers generated from business travelers willing to pay $3,000 for flatbeds and priority service. By early 2021, Norwegian had accumulated approximately $7 billion in debt and was forced to abandon its long-haul operations entirely, retreating to focus exclusively on short European routes. The fuel price vulnerability. Jet fuel represents the largest variable cost in aviation, accounting for up to 35% of an airline's operating expenses. Short-haul budget carriers can somewhat insulate themselves through rapid aircraft utilization, flying the same plane on 6 routes daily to spread costs. Long-haul flights lack this flexibility because aircraft spend most hours in the air rather than generating revenue through quick turnarounds. A single fuel price spike can instantly transform profitable routes into money-losing nightmares. WOW Air's spectacular failure in March 2019 illustrated this vulnerability perfectly. The Icelandic carrier built its business model around specific fuel price assumptions, offering incredibly cheap flights from North America to Europe via rail. When fuel prices surged from approximately 93 cents per gallon to over $2.25 per gallon, WOW's margins evaporated overnight. Without the cushion of business-class revenue or the operational flexibility of short-haul routes, the airline collapsed within months, ceasing operations without warning and stranding thousands of passengers across 3 continents. The secondary airport trap. Budget airlines traditionally succeed by using cheaper secondary airports far from major cities, like Ryanair's extensive use of small regional fields across Europe. This strategy works brilliantly for short leisure trips where travelers accept a 1-hour bus ride to save $50 on a 2-hour flight. However, Long-haul passengers evaluate trade-offs completely differently when committing to 12-hour journeys costing hundreds of dollars. Business travelers and affluent tourists, who represent the most profitable long-haul segments, overwhelmingly prefer major hub airports with premium lounges, efficient connections, and proximity to city centers. When Norwegian tried serving New York area passengers from Stewart International Airport, located 60 miles north of Manhattan, the airline discovered that even deeply discounted fares couldn't overcome the inconvenience factor for long international journeys. Passengers choosing to cross an ocean prioritize convenience and reliability over modest savings, fundamentally undermining the budget carrier value proposition that works so effectively on shorter routes. The regulation reality. International aviation operates under complex bilateral agreements that restrict which airlines can fly between specific countries and under what conditions. Legacy carriers spent decades negotiating favorable access rights, gate slots at premium airports, and relationships with regulators. Budget long-haul startups face years of bureaucratic challenges simply to begin operations. Norwegian spent 3 years battling U.S. regulators before receiving approval to fly transatlantic routes, burning through cash reserves before carrying a single passenger. Beyond access rights, long-haul operations require expensive safety certifications, extended crew training for over-water flights, and compliance with varying international labor laws. The European Union's strict passenger compensation rules, which can require airlines to pay €600 for significant delays on long routes, create additional financial risks that disproportionately impact carriers without deep cash reserves. These regulatory barriers function as moats protecting established airlines from budget competition in ways that domestic markets simply don't allow. The final verdict: the story of long-haul budget airlines isn't really about poor management or bad luck, though both have certainly played roles. It's about fundamental economic realities that make this business model extraordinarily difficult to sustain. The combination of massive capital requirements, intense competition from entrenched players with structural advantages, fuel price volatility, passenger preference for convenience on long journeys, and regulatory complexity creates a perfect storm that has defeated nearly every attempt at budget intercontinental aviation. Does this mean affordable long-haul flying is impossible? Not necessarily. AirAsia X recently won the world's leading long-haul low-cost airline award for 2 consecutive years and achieved profitability for 8 consecutive quarters through November 2024. The carrier succeeds by offering premium cabins alongside economy seating, carefully selecting routes with strong demand like Malaysia to Australia and South Korea, and maintaining load factors above 84%. The future belongs to hybrid models combining budget efficiency with strategic premium services rather than pure no-frills operations, proving that affordable long-distance travel is possible with the right formula. Thank you for watching the World Documentaries. If you found this exploration fascinating, please subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever flown on a budget long-haul carrier? What was your experience? We'd love to hear your stories. Join us next time as we explore more topics that shape our interconnected world. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss our latest documentaries.